And a lot of times we think about, okay, I'm going to advocate for the poor because they have needs. Or we think about, I'm going to advocate for children because they're defenseless. But the last group we think about is advocating for the prisoner. The last person we think about is advocating for the criminal. Yet I'm going to tell you, throughout the Bible, God advocated for the prisoner. God advocated for the criminal. He wasn't the sort of God to just say, throw the book at him and lock away the key. He wasn't the sort of God to say, well, hey, you did the crime, you pay the time. Over and over again, God offered grace and mercy to plenty of folks that didn't deserve it. And that's the same heart we should have for people, even if they're criminals. The same heart we should have for people, even if they're in prison. I don't know about you, but I got family that are in jail and in prison. And I tell you, there are times where I'm writing them letters and I'm connecting with them on JA, but there are times where I drop the ball and my heart grieves. Because Jesus is the one that said in Matthew 25:26, when I was hungry, you fed me. When I was in prison, you visited me. And he said, when you do this to the least of these, you've done it unto me. You see, when you remember the prisoner, when you remember the criminal, Jesus said, you think you're being a blessing to them, but he said, no, you're really being a blessing to me. How can we get so high and mighty and say, yeah, he should have just complied? How can we get so high and mighty and say, yeah, he should have just listened? When Jesus said, visit him. When Jesus said, remember him. When Jesus said, love him. Did Rayshard Brooks deserve better? Obviously, over the past few weeks, we've been hearing about Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake is another one. Let me just say, for Jacob Blake, he had no criminal record. In his background, if you look up Jacob Blake, he has no convictions. He had a case pending, which was a domestic violence case, sexual assault. But we don't know how that would have turned out. Lord knows, if you know the definition of sexual assault, if you touch a woman like this, it could be sexual assault. But we don't know how that would have turned out. But regardless, he had a scuffle with police. He walked away and Jacob was shot 7 times in the back. So many people were just like, see there, you just should have complied. You just should have did what you were told to do, I guess. But did he deserve better than getting shot 7 times in the back? I'm going to tell you, throughout the Bible and throughout the Word of God, you're going to see where Jesus shows compassion on the prisoner and even for the criminal. Jesus shows compassion. And that's my challenge. I know some of y'all are saying, well, Pastor, I've been a victim of a crime. And Lord knows I've been a victim of crime. Gayla will tell you, I have had my car broken into more than I can count. People have stolen clothes, they've stolen computers, they've stolen projectors, they've stolen change, they've stolen money, checks out of my car. And I know in my flesh, I'm just like, God, get them. But yet Jesus is the one that says, hey, if somebody takes your cloak, offer them your shirt also. Jesus is the one that says, if somebody slaps you in the cheek, offer him the other cheek also. In other words, he's saying you have a spirit of restoration. You have a spirit of showing love even to your enemies. But yet we're the ones that say, yeah, we should get them. I'm going to tell you, if you're a follower of Jesus, God is challenging you to advocate for the prisoner and even the criminal. I know that's going to be tough. But I'm going to show you in the Word of God how he says it over and over again. So if you'll bear with me for a second, will you just say, God, speak to me? God, challenge me. This is a forgotten about group. And I'm going to tell you, we cannot say we respect all of the word of God if we are not being willing to listen to the word when it says we are to love and remember the criminal.